Yes, everyone, welcome back to Stretford Paddock. This is the transfer review delivered to you by Amazon Prime. See how easy that would be? You got fucking 75 fucking vans in every single episode, but you're not sponsoring it yet. That's how easy it could be. Phone us, talk to us. We're pretty cheap. Not that cheap, but we're pretty cheap. So we're doing a game of count how many Amazon vans go past, right? You see, you're just getting like organically dropped in, and then you're going to drive past. Like, your marketing team is sleeping at the wheel. Not of these vans though, because that'd be dangerous, right? Look, there's a UPS van gone by there. Don't get usurped by UPS, because I'll start shouting them out if you don't play the game. Right then, so this is the transfer review, and I've got a task, nay, a question for you lot. I want to know what the steepest street in Manchester is. I know it, because I'm better than you. But do you know it? Get your answers in the comments below, and you'll see if I'm right at the end of the show. So where are we starting today, Steve? We are starting at the back. At the back? No, I mean, in net. It's kind of... See, at the back means in defence, doesn't it? But there's a guy behind the guys at the back, and he's in net. Why is he not called at the back? Anyway, we're talking about Onana. What's happening with Onana? Something, actually. Loads of updates, loads of reports from a plethora of journalists, from the really good ones to the ones who work at Sky and the MEN. All sort of talking about stuff, all sort of saying, it looks like... Do you know what? I always say this. When you start to hear about the length of the contract that has been agreed or offered and the sort of wages, that takes it out of the bullshit pile and puts it into the probably happening kind of pile. I can't remember what we gave it last week, but it's edged up, if not leaped forward. Everyone's talking about Onana. Everyone's discussing this, that and the other. We got Mount. I think I wasn't here last week, was I, actually? So yeah, it's probably all advanced a fair bit. The last time we spoke, I said it looked like Mount was doing it. It's the same pattern, it's the same thing. We're and ahhing over. We've offered this, they want that. We probably meet in the middle at some point, and guess what? We don't have a goalkeeper. We might cover David De Gea, and he might be in the ins and the outs. Onana to me seems like a real easy one. And if we have to do by the Ten Hag transferometer. Is he Dutch? No. Has he played for Ten Hag? Yeah. Well, it's fucking happening then, isn't it? Like, the Ten Hag transferometer, it's a pretty reliable way of fucking getting stuff done. Ding, no, ding, yeah, all right, yeah. That's how our scout department works at the moment. Ten Hag walks in and goes, hey, have we signed a fucking goalkeeper yet? And they go, we don't know any. And he goes, fuck's sake, gets his phone out. WhatsApp, are you up to Onana, right? What are you doing? What are you up to? And then that's how that deal happened. Anyway, Onana to United, positive move. Upgrade on David De Gea, slightly in the goalkeeping part of the game. Massive upgrade on him in the playing football with his feet kind of game. It's happening, isn't it? It's happening. Not only that, not only are we signing a goalkeeper, it looks like we're actually signing a backup goalkeeper. So I'm going to say Onana to United, actually starting to look very real. And I'm going to say 9 out of 10. Solid, straight in, first out the gate, 9 out of 10. It's all down here from here. All downhill from here. And I think that Onana's so close, by the time this comes out, we might have even seen it develop further. Next up, we got Zion Suziki. Me either. When did you hear about him, Steve? Last night, when he was trending on Twitter for everyone's typing his name in and saying, who is he? So that's when I first heard about him. Is he any good? No idea. Genuinely, not a fucking clue. What are you going to be doing today, Steve? Well, probably watching videos of fucking Zion Suziki so I can give you a rounded opinion on him in time for the brew. So actually, by the time you read this, I know about him. And by read this, I mean watch this. So are United signing Zion Suziki? Probably, right? Because why the fuck would you make up a rumour about someone we all had to Google? Like Manchester United are in the mix for Santiago Muñez, right? Do you know what I mean? So are we signing? Yeah, probably, right? Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because as it stands, Tom Heaton's the only person in there with a pair of fucking gloves. And we don't know if he's staying. Looks like Kovar, who had a great season on loan last year, has decided to go replicate that by having another season on loan at Sparta this year, leaving Tom Heaton, who's the only goalkeeper, still the third choice. So definitely bringing in Onana in, or at least going to try. The only thing that's going to fuck you up from now is if he fails his medical or something. And it looks like Zion Suziki is going to come in and play number 2. Or perhaps Tom Heaton's number 2 and Zion takes the number 3 spot. Either way, I think 2 goalkeepers through the door. One of the wheelie bike fellas has just gone that way. Didn't want to come and say hello? No? Okay. Whatever. 2 goalkeepers, through the fucking door, jobs are good one. Can we get it done in time for going on pre-season tour? Yeah, I reckon we can, Onana's the priority, obviously. I think if Suziki comes in at any time, it's fine. Do I think we're going to sign him? Yeah. Probably needs a little bit more detail coming out of it, so I'm only going to give it a 7 this week, and we'll see what happens next week. Sofian Amrabat. For me, the better of the 2 number 8s in the Europa Conference final. Didn't one of them go for 100 million? Yep, he did, yep. And it wasn't the best one. So, supposedly, I did a video on this early in the week, and I did go early on this one, because there wasn't a lot to talk about. But, I was interested, because Amrabat's an interesting guy. One of the Amazon fellas has stopped. Yeah, mate, I'm trying to film here. Can't see Old Trafford. It first appeared in an outlet called La Nation, right? And I have no idea if that's legit or not. Some of our more Italian-versed friends in the comments might be able to let us know. Is that the Italian Sun or is that the Italian Guardian? Or is it the Italian MEN, a.k.a. scrawled in shit on a wall? Let us know where it ranks in terms of tiers. So anyway, they went early with it last week. Was it Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that? I think it was Tuesday. And it was like, yeah, United have basically fucking sorted out personal terms with Amrabat, and the fee won't be a problem because it's like 25-30 million. Since then, Gazzetta dello Sport, which anyone who grew up in the 90s is well aware of, which is a bit more of an established outlet, certainly the go-to sort of footballing outlet in Italy, they've said that, yeah, they've said what he said. So now, are they reporting what the original article was saying, or are they coming with their own information and agreeing and saying, yeah, we've also said this is legit? Either way, there seems to have just been a whole lot of smoke about Amrabat to United. Now, why would United sign Amrabat? And why are we doing all of this? Why we don't have a fucking striker? Right? That's what I'm here to answer, hopefully. So, we haven't got a goalkeeper. We've got an in and out going on with David De Gea. We're probably going to get Onana in. Looks like we're going to get Zion Suziki in as well. That's not really going to affect the budget too much. With Mason Mount sold, bought even, you're probably looking at somewhere in the region of about 100 million spent so far, right? There was talk that United had about 150 at the start of the window. You bring in an Amrabat, you're probably pretty much 120, 130 sort of range. And that's us surely, right? We haven't really got any other big signings at least in there. But I still think United have got so much to sell. And we will talk about those that are rumoured to sell, but there's probably a half dozen players at United that you can get 10, 20 million, 30 million for. Which, when added all together, means you can go and get someone of a decent amount and a decent value. You've not answered the Amrabat thing. I'm getting there. It's called storytelling. I'm just going around the houses to fill you in first, all right? It's entertainment. So with Amrabat, we saw last season, Casemiro likes the occasional week off, doesn't he? Right? So when Casemiro decides that he wants to just fucking boot somebody, get a couple of weeks off, the drop-off in level for United is significant. So I think you need someone to step in and cover for when Casemiro's not there. Are we really going to sign someone for the 4 games that Casemiro's back? No, I'm not finished. Let me finish. Also, I like Mason Mount. I think he's a great footballer. And I think what we're doing is having options to be able to break down teams that are going to try and sit back against us. Mason Mount, nice creative player, bit more of a defensive output than you would have got out of Eriksen. Bruno Fernandes, very offensive player, creates loads of chances. Those two, alongside Casemiro, when it's fucking, I don't know, Luton, sound. But you're not going to play them at Anfield away. Anfield away, Amrabat, Casemiro, Bruno. Or maybe Mount in the 10 and Bruno plays on the right. Gives you a lot more strength in midfield, a lot more solidity in midfield, allows you to play on the counter-attack a little bit more, gives you options. Because one of the worst things in the world is when you've got an 11 and you know what it is every week. And sometimes that's good. And do you know what? If United were playing the best football in the world and we were always going to win, it's not a problem. But we're not at that level, are we? So we're a fucking long way off the level where United can just turn up, not really give a fuck about the tactics that the opposition are playing, and just play our game and win, right? We'd like us to get to that point, of course. But you have to be realistic. We're not at that point. So for now, we need to tailor our games to the opposition that we're playing. And the 11 needs to be tailored to them. And I think having Amrabat and Casemiro, Mount and Bruno, amongst others, gives you the flexibility and options to be able to tailor your team without the drop in quality to the opposition. And it also allows you to cover for injuries, suspensions, form and tiredness. United are expected to compete on multiple fronts, and I think one of the things that Ten Hag will have taken on board from last season is we did fucking well in a lot of competitions. Post-World Cup, Manchester United played 40 matches of football. In that time, Arsenal played 28. It's literally a third more games. It's a significant amount of pressure on top of the squad. So you'd say me that them players, if you sign them, wouldn't play? You can have 16 players for 11 positions, all first choice, and it'd be fine. You look at what Manchester City are about to dunk in another 100 million on the centre-half because Pep's got none. Well, he's got 5, but, he's got none, really. They're going to dunk that on 100 million on a centre-half that we don't even know if he's going to start. You can't tell me United don't need a £30 million midfielder that would come in and do a decent job of replacing Casemiro or an excellent job of playing alongside him. Now, all of us that watched him in the World Cup, we saw the defensive job that he did. Brilliant anchor. Actually, for Fiorentina, he's a little bit different. He's a little bit more of a shuttling 8, actually a bit more offensive with it. Totally different. But if you watch the Europa Conference, you see the job that he would do either alongside or instead of Casemiro, and I think that's exactly what Manchester United need. I think he's a great character, I think he's a great age, I think he's a great price, and I think he's a great player. So for me, he ticks all of those boxes, and I would get his arse in rapido. Do I think it's happening? Let's go to the Ten Hag-ometer and see what it's saying. Is he Dutch? No. Has he played for Ten Hag? Yes, he has. Fuck it, 10 out of 10. Realistically, no, I think it's about 7 out of 10 at the moment. I think there's a long way to go between these. No, actually, fuck it, 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. He has played for Ten Hag, but it was a while ago. But I think, how easy is being a scout at United? Genuinely. You could just turn in fucking mush. They don't look at it. No one looks at it. No one looks at it. It must be Ten Hag forcing transfers through because he knows people. Must be. Because what the fuck? Jesus Christ. Hang on. I need to pull out the Ten Hag-ometer again. Do you like Moroccan fella? Amrabat. He's actually born in Holland. So, is he Dutch? Well, yeah, kinda. He's got a Dutch passport, put it that way. Yes. And has Ten Hag played with him before? Yes. Name on the shirt, lads. Right then, Rasmus Hojlund. The striker. The elusive unicorn, mythical creature that we desperately fucking need. Do you know what? If we manage to bring in a centre-half, plus the goalkeepers, plus Amrabat, plus Mount, and you get Rasmus Hojlund, that's a belting window, and I would actually think that you're not getting anything else. You've had birthday, you've had Christmas, that's you're done, right? You ain't getting anything else out of anybody here. Unless we end up with the Jasim fella, and he wants to go off like a fucking lottery winner in a kebab shop later in the window. Who knows? Could happen. He might just dunk a big fat wad on Harry Kane. Could happen. I'm not saying it will, I'm just saying it could, right? Rasmus Hojlund, what's going on? Well, it seems like United have slung a bid in, and Atlanta have gone, fuck you, double. Now, that's a little bit of an impasse. Look, he's not worth 80 million. He really isn't. There's Kolo Muani, fucking Harry Kane for similar sort of money or less. The fucking Sons of Anarchy in here, or what? And I don't think he's listen, he's got a play style like Haaland. He ain't Haaland. He ain't that level. And I don't know if he'll ever get to that level. When you're asking for 80 million, was that more than Haaland? Yes. So what the fuck are we doing? Do I think United are going to get him? I don't think Atalanta are going to hold out for what they've said they want. I think that's a bit of posturing. I think that they'll probably settle for a lot less. But I think United need to up their bid by a cheeky little bit. Now, can we do that without sales? Probably not. So Rasmus Hojlund to United at the moment. I think there's definitely something in it, but I can't give it more than a 4 out of 10 at the moment because the prices are just so far apart. Right, that was the ins. This is the outs. First up, Harry Maguire. Where is he going, Steve? Fucking nowhere at the moment. So United are supposedly slapped on the windscreen of Harry Maguire. A £40 million fee. Who's paying that, Steve? Well, no one. To be fair, United should ask for that because it's half of what we fucking paid for him. And I mean, if Gareth Southgate was a club manager, maybe you'd get someone to buy him. He fucking loves him. Supposedly a number of Premier League level clubs interested in him. none as yet come in and tickled our chins for him. Supposedly the wage increase that he got on the back of other people's work getting us back into the Champions League has made it difficult to shift him. I think United are going to probably have to pay a percentage of his wages to get him a fuck off. I think he will go. I think United will move him on. I think he will go. And it'll probably drag out for the entirety of the window. So is he leaving? No state. I'd say 4 out of 10 at the moment. I can't give it more than 4, can I? When we don't even know who's interested. David Moyes supposedly interested because of course he is, and they've got that 100 million Declan Rice money burning a hole in their pocket. And you know what it's like when you've got some money in your pocket and you go to the shop and you're like, ooh, can I have that, mum? No. What do you mean no? Got some 100 million in my pocket. You mad? Can I have a Harry Maguire? Well, we've got a Harry Maguire at home. Maybe get Tyrone Mings instead. Next up, Mason Greenwood. Okay, what's happening there then? Well, we don't know. United are doing an internal investigation where they decide whether or not they want to keep him around at the club. There's a million different ways this could go. I've already said my entire feelings on it in a video this week. Go and check that out over there. I'm not repeating myself. There was some talk that Roma were interested in him. It seemed to be just Turkish and Italian clubs, for whatever reason, were the ones that were supposedly rumoured to be in for him. United are obviously going to make a decision. The rumour is Ten Hag doesn't see any issue and wants him back in the squad. I'd have to say 5 out of 10 that he stays, 5 out of 10 that he goes, because we have no way of knowing one way or another at the moment. And then we've got David De Gea. He is our okie-dokie player of the day. We don't know if he's in and we don't know if he's out. So technically David De Gea left at the start of July. He's no longer employed. But there was no talk of him like cleaning his locker out or anything like that. It was just kind of like there was a contract offer on the table. There was a little bit of fuckery with the contracts. Like we offered it, we took it away. He signed it. We went, yeah, psych, we're not signing it. Like we fucked him about. A little bit disrespectful, I must say. Why not just be honest with him? If you want him, tell him you want him. If you don't want him, tell him you don't want him. I think someone who's been a servant of the club for that long, you owe them honesty. You don't owe them staying here for nothing. You don't owe them getting a new contract just because, but you owe them honesty. I think that's fair. I think you can be honest with him and say, I wasn't impressed with you last season, I want to move elsewhere. Or you say, I'm still on the fence, but there's a contract. Whatever you want to do, just talk to the guy and be honest about it. Do you know what I mean? It's not that hard, is it, to just, especially when someone's been a servant for the club for 12 years. I think they're owed that. And technically owed a testimonial as well, if you want to get into that. So De Gea's contract expired. And then there's been the occasional little emoji on Twitter, and that's the only indication that we're getting about it. I would be surprised if David De Gea signs, because I think we're going to get this Suziki kid from Little Rock, Arkansas. I think we're going to get Onana. Where does he fit into that? The truth is he doesn't. Look, bottom line is, the guy ain't got a contract. The guy's probably getting about 4 offers a minute from Saudi Arabia. And elsewhere, I imagine. I think Saudi looks like a realistic destination for him. Go get the bag, man. Go and enjoy yourself in Saudi Arabia. Fuck it. Will we see him coming back to United? I think it's a 1 out of 10. That means it's a 9 out of 10 that he's gone, doesn't it? Simple maths. Right, that was the ins. That was the outs. How many Amazon vans do we have? Let me know in the comments. And if you work at Amazon's marketing team, pick up the fucking phone, lad. And the steepest street in Manchester, Jutland Street.
Drive up it if you want.
Look at that. Fucking steep that.